good roster and now a really strong coaching staff. I expect them to win, and if not win, be in the Eastern Conference Finals this year. But that year will come. Right now, we're in the midst of a very intriguing NFL season, and we have a huge game on Sunday between the Ravens and the only undefeated team in the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jalen, what are you keying on for these Steelers?
My keys is you got a Hall of Fame quarterback under center who's been healthy all year, and he's got a chance to nurture a terrific young wide receiving core. That's what I'm going to be watching for this weekend. Johnson, Claypool, Juju, can they get open and hold on to the football against that physical secondary of the Baltimore Ravens?
The Ravens do have a great secondary. That receiving core will be tested. However, it is the other side of the ball for the Steelers that I am keying on is the fact that they are so good at creating pressure on the quarterback. They blitz, and they blitz often, and they don't even have to when they have Dupree and Watt on the line. And I don't know if you've noticed, but Lamar Jackson has not handled the blitz well this season so far. The numbers tell me that with Lamar Jackson getting blitzed as often as he's going to on Sunday, and with the pressure that the Steelers can create, that this is going to be a very difficult day for that Ravens offense, which is why I'm going on wax and saying I have the Steelers not just winning this game, but I have them winning easily. And on Monday, we'll be talking about what is wrong with the Ravens. Who do you have in this one?
Wow, it's hard for me to pick against Lamar Jackson. And I know you can look at the passing numbers and they're down from last year. The rushing numbers are down last year. And you're going against an undefeated Steelers team. But it seems like these be the moments, in particular in the regular season, where Lamar balls out. And so if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, there's one thing to blitz the quarterback when he's passing Jacoby, but don't forget the run. And they're going to be without Bush as well, who's dealing with an injury on that defense. Yep. Baltimore will have some opportunities to run the football if the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be blitzing. Therefore, I believe Lamar has the best game he's played all season. The Baltimore Ravens get it done at home.
Well, we'll see who is right on Sunday, and we'll talk about it on Monday. But one thing we'll definitely be discussing on Monday is it is Tua time in Miami. They host the Los Angeles Rams, and it is going to be Tua's first start. And you feel a certain kinship, a brotherhood with Tua. Why is that, Jalen Rose?
Fellow lefty. And I talk about this a lot in basketball. When you're watching the NBA, just remember, there are teams that don't have a left-handed player. 90% of the NBA shoots with their right hand. That also exists in the NFL. Since 1950, Jacoby, only 40 quarterbacks have taken a snap that were lefty. How about that throwback footage? You know who that is? Youngsters. His nickname is the Snake, Kenny Stabler, and that was to Branch. That right there, Steve Young. And that receiver is probably the greatest player of all time, Jerry Rice. And that's my guy, Slick Vic. And so for Tua to now enter the left-handed class of anointing, I expect him to go out and continue to put on for the lefties like some of the guys we showed already on the show.
And I've said it before, and I will say it again, that this is one of, if not the greatest QB draft class of all time. From what I've seen from Burrow, from what I've seen from Herbert, and what I expect to see from Tua, I really think this is a very special quarterback draft class. But we have so many more games to get to in the NFL, and one of those games is also in the AFC. It is an AFC East matchup between the Patriots and the Bills. And Jalen, something has happened to Cam Newton since he has come back that has just absolutely baffled me. He has completely disregarded the right side of the field. He only throws across his body to the left. It makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. He looks left and he throws left on every single snap. Why is that, Jalen? Do you have any explanation for this?
Well, this is what I talked about. That last throw is what I see, Jacoby. How the ball starts really high and it ends up sailing to the turf. That's what I see. It could be the coaching staff protecting him, feeling like he can't make the throw on certain plays that they draw up, which in the past, as a former MVP, would seem like something that maybe they're covering up an injury. But either way it goes, there's no excuses. He said it. He got to get out there and ball, and what a better time to do so. The Patriots have owned their division forever. Now we're handing it to the Buffalo Bills. We had our guy Benny the Butcher on. You know the Griselda gonna be celebrating Buffalo, jumping on tables, excited about this Sunday, taking the crown from the Patriots. This is a chance for Cam Newton to hopefully renew some of the play that he had earlier in the season if he's gonna maintain this job, Jacoby, because he's gonna have to play well whether they win, lose, or not.
This is a make or break week for the New England Patriots. If we wake up on Monday and they are 2-5 and they've got Cam and Stidham and Hoyer and no future,
pull the plug.
I really suspect that they could trade Stephon Gilmore if they find themselves at 2-5. We'll keep an eye on that on Monday, but another thing we're going to keep an eye on is this. Shout out to our producer, Tony, who pointed this out. Now, Jalen, I want you to get in the mind of these legendary Hall of Fame athletes. You've got Tom Brady and Drew Brees, who are in a touchdown race. They're one touchdown in between the two of them, with Brees one touchdown behind Brady. The Saints play the Bears this weekend in that Bears defense. I'm asking you as a former athlete, do you think they're cognizant of this? When they take the field, do they have an eye on what the other one does? Do you think they know that they're in this neck-and-neck race for most touchdowns of all time?
They both know. When asked, they should acknowledge that they know, because they're both students of the game. And if you're Drew Brees, this is your claim to, I don't have 6 championship rings, but I do have more touchdown passes than Tom Brady. So then now later you can make the case that you play better in the regular season, but he was on better teams. And they both know each other's age, and they both realize that the clock is ticking. And so, yes, this becomes regular season motivation, Jacoby. Some of these games, when you're 40 plus years old, like, you can't be as enthusiastic as when you first started. That's just human nature. This gives both of these all-time greats something to go out and be enthusiastic about making happen each weekend.
You know how they always say that Father Time is unbeaten? I think Tom Brady actually is up on Father Time. I think Tom Brady's like 1-0 against Father Time at this point. Because you know one thing I'm not going to do? I'm not going to sit in this room and speak into this microphone and talk about Tom Brady or Drew Brees being washed for the rest of this season, because it ain't happening. I fixed my lips and I thought that Drew Brees was washed. Guess what? He proved me wrong. Remember when Tom Brady lost to the Bears on that Thursday night and he thought it was 4th down or 3rd down, it was 4th down, and we thought maybe he was slipping? Guess what? Now he looks like the best quarterback in the league. I'm not calling either one of these players washed until I am absolutely positive of it, and they have shown me nothing up to this point that they are washed. And Jalen, we have some bad news in college football. What I suspect will be the number 1 pick in next year's NFL draft, the best prospect I've seen with my 2 eyes in my life, Trevor Lawrence, has tested positive for coronavirus. Interesting. Now, his Clemson Tigers play Boston College this weekend, but next weekend, they have a game against Notre Dame, a huge game for both programs. Jalen, the ACC has a protocol in which if you test positive, you do not play or participate for 10 days. That would make him missing the Notre Dame game. What do you think happens next weekend with Trevor Lawrence?
See, I'm going to say what a lot of people are thinking, in particular those that work in this business, but don't really want to say. If that timeline that you just acknowledged is accurate, the report shouldn't be that Trevor Lawrence is out versus Boston College. It should be he's out versus Boston College and Notre Dame.
No one's saying that.
Okay? Because that's a 10-day quarantine. And if he got it this week, that takes you, no matter how you try to navigate the days of when he felt symptoms, that takes you through next Saturday. And so what we're going to see is what we didn't see with Wisconsin, when their quarterback in the Big Ten, who has different protocols, are standing on it. In this case, the ACC, and Notre Dame is going to be in the ACC one season, and these teams have a chance to play twice, maybe even 3 times. If Trevor Lawrence is breathing and wants to be under center, regardless, it seems, of COVID-19 protocol so far, it seems like they're still going to play him next week, which really balls up any paperwork